Well, we're back from the tour, guys.
You can still travel to the U.S., or do you think you're black flagged now?
Oh, they're going to give me a hard time for sure. Yeah, for sure.
TC says, "Oh, so this is real for you, Mark. We can't laugh at you anymore." No, don't worry. You can still laugh at me.
You can still laugh at me.
I'm a
he still likes
now.
it. He's fine. Yeah, he's fine.
Up.
There he is.
Hello.
Oh my God, you are loud. Let me turn
sorry.
that
Hold on. Hello, everyone.
No, we're good now. Just.
Oh. Okay. Hello.
Yep, I'm ready for you. Yell all you want, Mark.
How's it going?
Good. Okay, how do we kick this off? This is the Something to Prove podcast. No, we just get into it.
We just get into it because this is actually our long version. This is usually the one we do on Zoom. We usually have these conversations that can go for like an hour and a half, and then we release them. But with the big news, with the big shift in Evan's life, with the thing that honestly you're going to get over super fast and then be onward and upward and whatever's next, I thought, why not take this opportunity to do it on IG Live?
All right. So here we go. Yeah. This is it.
In close to real time, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So for those of us who are joining us on Evan's Live, this is going to be a little bit more chitty-chatty. Feel free to leave comments, ask questions if you want, but for the most part, we're just going to chitty-chatty. We'll get to your questions at the end.
Wow.
Evan, what happened? What happened? Walk me through. So here's the thing. Last year, you and Nina get Nexus cards. You rent this boring Suburban. You drive across the border and you fly, your camera guy in. Mm-hmm. This year, you thought, you know what? I'm not going to worry about Border Patrol. I'm not going to worry about all that stuff. I'm going to get a Porsche, Rapid Gold and Yellow. So it's like the brightest, craziest looking thing you can. Then I'm going to load up a whole bunch of people into a car and live stream our way across the border. They won't mind. Is that what happened?
That's a bit of an exaggeration, but
do you like my storytelling techniques?
No, because you gotta tell the truth, Mark.
Okay, so what happened?
Okay. So last year, Danny, my video guy, was already in the U.S. doing a different gig. So we didn't fly him across the border for border reasons. He was already in the U.S. and didn't make sense for him to come back to Toronto and then come across. So last year was even more sketchy in that we had a giant Suburban filled with camera gear that I had no idea what any of the stuff was. So before we left, Danny had to explain to me. I didn't even know how to open the case of the camera gear.
The Pelican cases, yeah.
The crazy buttons all over, and I just had this mental image of me getting to the border and not knowing how to open up the cases that are mine. Anyway, the guy asked a couple questions and he let us through. Like, it wasn't. I've never had an issue at the border. Anyway, so we weren't live streaming our way across the border, Mark. Okay, we weren't filming content. He wasn't. The border guards are supposed to be, they're supposed to be angry and supposed to be, mistrusting and doubtful because they're there to protect the border. Yeah. This guy was our first guy. We had two guys. So the first guy.
Oh, did they tell you? They pulled you aside, did they?
Yeah, and he wasn't happy. He was questioning, and then Ray was behind me, and he asked him what he did, and he said he's a teacher. Like, he didn't believe that he got 3 months off of teaching to come and do the tour. And anyway, it's like a bunch of. It wasn't adding up for him, and it was a super light. Like, there's nobody in line, so they need something to do. They were pulling like a ton of people over.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's just because it was super dead or border security is heightened or whatever.
It is what it is. Regardless,
they just had a bad day, whatever.
Regardless,
I don't know.
They pull you aside.
So then we go inside, and then we spent, I don't know, a couple hours in there.
A couple hours?
So we met a different guy, who then asked you a whole bunch of questions.
Did they separate you guys?
Kind of. So it's just a bunch of things. They're already pissed off. The guy asked me to come up by myself, like, just a driver. It's like, okay, just a driver. I'll go talk to the guy. And anyway, he gets up and he asks me a bunch of questions. I tell him what I'm doing, and he's like, he's this guy like in his 50s or 60s, and he's like, I know how YouTube works. I know people think I'm old, and I know how YouTube works. Like, awesome. I'm very happy for you. You know, like
Yeah.
he's already pissed off coming to sit down. He's like, okay, I'm just gonna answer questions and be polite and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he told me to go sit down, and then Jeremy was on the phone when you're not supposed to be on the phone. There's this like sign that says "Don't be on the phone," and Jeremy's sitting like right under the sign, almost on his phone.
Yeah.
So then he's like, "You on the phone? Come on up." And Jeremy didn't hear him the first time.
Oh,
Jeremy, like you got to go talk to the guy. Anyway, so he said, you know, I'm doing YouTube consultants. Like, well, who's paying you to come down here? It's like, well, you know, I'm not getting paid to come down here, but are you going to do business down here? Like, I don't know. I might get a client when I'm here. Anyway, they could. I mean, anybody who goes on business might get a client while they go down to the US.
right.
Anyway, so he wasn't happy. Then he pulled all of us. All of you guys come up. All of you guys come up. And then he looked at Nina and was like, well, who are you and what's your role? It's like, well, I'm Evan's wife. Like,
wife,
oh,
yeah.
okay. So you guys are probably already talking and scheming while I was talking to this guy. Like, okay, no comment.
Wow.
Anyway, so then he's like, okay, I don't know. I want to charge you with fraud, but I have to go do my terrorism training. So you sit here and I'll come back.
Charge you with fraud?
Yeah. He was very angry, very
Super
not happy.
angry. Okay.
Yeah. So then, anyway, so he went and did his terrorism training while we sat there and waited. And then he basically just took our Nexus cards and sent us home. He's like,
They kept the cards.
they took our Nexus cards.
So you lost your Nexus. You lost your cross-border cards.
Yeah, we have to apply again.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
He didn't like take them and cut them up in front of you or anything?
Oh no, I mean, whatever.
Okay.
Listen, they could have been harder too, right? They could have. He could have. They have insane powers at the border, right? They could do a lot, right?
Right.
They could have made me jump through 1,000 hoops and like, you know, they could have just decided.
What did he just not like? He just didn't like the fact that you guys didn't have like a visa for this, that you guys were vague, that you just got the wrong guy on the wrong day or whatever it is, or what?
It's probably a mix. Like what he didn't like was I was there promoting books.
Books. Okay, yeah.
Doing the tour, right?
Yeah.
So he didn't like that. But he was already like, they were already angry and already looking for something and probably had a rough night, whatever.
Yeah.
And they could have been harder, right? Like they could have been harder. They could have just decided. They could have thrown us in jail overnight just for whatever, you know, like they can, right? I mean, there's no. Anyway, he started getting, after his terrorism training, he came out and he was like raging and he's telling me how disappointed he is in me and how he understands YouTube and all this stuff. It's like, thank you, sir, appreciate you. Right? Yeah, anyway, so we have to reapply, whatever. We got to reapply for the Nexus cards, and then they sent us home. Actually, before they sent us home, we had to cross the Canadian border.
And then explain now.
This is what was wild. So they give you a form.
Yeah.
Because we're not coming into the country, really. We just left. We just crossed the bridge and back, right? We weren't in the. So you got to give this form to the Canadian side, and then when we get to the border, she's like, "Oh, okay, take your form. You got to take your form and go and give it to the, whatever, the person inside, like the customs control or." So we go inside, and it's like, "Are you guys doing immigration or are you customs?" I'm like, neither. We just got turned around at the border.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm at this point. I'm like, I'm just trying to be open. Like, whatever, man.
I don't know what to do.
You try to be gentle. And he's like, okay. Oh, okay. Give me the sheet. So we gave him the sheet that they gave us. Like, okay, that's it. Take it easy, guys.
Yeah.
And then go home. So then I treated. So I'm devastated more for. I think first to like Ray and Jeremy because they book off, especially Ray because he took off. He's a teacher, right? So it was hard for him to get the 3 months off to do all this stuff. He put his school on hold. Jeremy, you know, kind of same. Took 3 months off to do this, tell all his friends and family and everything. And you guys of helping create all the campaigns and how much, you know, pressure was putting on. They're like, we got to sell tickets and all this stuff, right? So that was my initial. I filter, you know, bad moods through disappointing people. So Everybody else, I know we can make it up to. The people in Cleveland who had bought tickets, we can refund them. I could do a phone call with them. Anybody who I promised, like I was supposed to meet Ryan Holiday in Austin to do an interview for his book. Like I could fix all that stuff.
But nothing's keeping you from the future of still visiting some places, right?
We need to reapply. Like I need to
But you still have your passport. You can still travel to the U.S. Or do you think you're black flag now?
Oh, they're going to give me a hard time for sure. Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah. I can't go and do the tour. If I'm going to go and do a stop or something, maybe. But they're going to make it hard for me for sure. So I need to have it, like, there can't be any question. At least for the next couple times. Now, yeah. There's no history. I've never done anything. Go look at my record. It's super clean. They had me do fingerprints and photo ID to see if I was, like, a criminal, if I've been charged in the U.S., like, have you ever been charged in the U.S.? Nope. Have you ever appeared before a judge in the U.S.? Like,
yeah.
No, nothing. Okay, we're going to fingerprint you and take your picture and see. Like, okay, great.
Wow, they really didn't. You know what it was? It was probably the gold Porsche.
Could be.
With your name on the side of it.
It could be. Like,
so much bling. You think last time you just went down in a black Suburban. Like, just the most, like, boring kind of like here we go.
They didn't even check the car. They said, what are you going to declare? Like, nothing. Like, you have camera gear. We have a little bit, but how much is it? I don't know, a couple $100. Like, we're not bringing. Last year we brought like insane gear.
Yeah, I know. You brought like thousands and thousands.
Like,
you brought all of
thousands.
All
of his stuff.
Here's $20,000.
We might need this. But we've also done, like, when we crossed the border into New York, like we brought gear across. We've done.
Yeah, when you went to New York City to interview the steakhouse guy.
Yeah. So we've done, anyway. So, for sure they're going to be a hard time the next time. So I have to have everything perfectly lined up. Yeah, exactly. So Nina's already been making calls, and we'll figure it out. But the tour as we planned it, like, can't happen. So yeah, my initial lens through which I see it is just, I don't want to disappoint people. Everything is make-upable, except I really felt bad for the people closest who put in the most work. I mean, Nina.
It's so funny that was your reaction. That wasn't. I mean, like if I were Ray, I would just feel a tremendous sense of freedom and relief because now I've just been given the gift of 3 months of now I can do anything with this time, right? Like I have no responsibilities here because I cleared it for this. This isn't happening now. What? This is amazing. And when you texted me, I felt bad for you, and I texted you last night. I was like, "How's your mood?" And you're like, "Oh, I feel disappointed for you guys, or I feel bad." I was like, "Okay, whatever. I feel bad for you. Like I don't like."
Logically, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Emotionally, it doesn't.
Well, be more of a thinker. Let's turn Evan Carmichael into more of a thinker.
So we were driving home and like, are you guys hungry? Because now it's, I don't know, it's 7:30. We haven't even eaten lunch. We've been there forever.
Yeah.
So we're driving home. We're like, hey, are you guys hungry? Because now I don't have to, but we'll drive them home, right? Ray's downtown. Jeremy's in like Aurora almost.
Middle of nowhere.
And then we had to drop middle of nowhere. We had to drop at my condo, the roof box doesn't fit inside our condo, so we had to then go to Nina's parents' house. Anyway,
take it off and all this stuff. Yeah. But
so
now you get your
whatever.
dogs. Yay! Look at all the gifts you've been given.
So on the way home, before we dropped Ray off, he was our first drop. It's like, let's go get some food. And so along the way, it's all like McDonald's and junk. But then I saw the Keg. It's like, okay, let's go to the Keg.
Love the Keg.
And so we
stopped
stopped in
for all of our non-local people.
Oh.
It's like just a nice kind of mid-range steakhouse, good enough to be sitting down and having a good steak, but not like not like crazy steakhouse kind of prices. We like the Keg. Great protein, great salads.
So in St. Catharines on the way home, we stopped at the Keg, and I told them, order whatever you want. You guys are hungry? Like, order whatever you want. Get the filet mignon. Like,
yeah.
I feel guilty for letting you guys down, so help me appease my guilt by ordering like the most expensive thing on the menu. And so I'm telling them like, that's not expensive enough. That like, little steak or whatever, that's not enough.
Yeah.
You got, I imagine, because I was going to pay for their everything for 90 days, right? So imagine 90 days of food all tied up in tonight. You got to make it count. And
You
so
know, now that you have 90 days, you could also just invite them for another dinner. Like, you know, you could do a nice dinner. You could bring some people together. You can reminisce about stories that didn't happen and imagine all these things. And like next week, you guys could just grab a really awesome dinner and do some hot pot or something.
Well, Ray apparently has among the best chicken Alfredo recipes in the world. So
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that dinner. So we have to make that happen. Anyway, so I was just telling him at the dinner that I'm most concerned about you guys because of, you know, your commitments and coming. And so putting that aside, like forgetting about, you know, and everybody's been super gracious. You were super gracious. Jeremy's messaging me at night saying, like, don't worry about it. Ray's making videos on his Instagram saying, like, Evan's got a monk mindset and all this stuff. And there's still, like, this piece of me that still feels like I let people down, I feel better about because of, like, over communication and.
Oh, really? See, there's a piece of me where maybe the reason I wasn't sad is because I still feel like there's something that that says this isn't over. Like, I feel like you can save this, can't you? It was a 90-day tour. It was a 90-day tour. You're saying in the next few weeks you can't get the stuff together enough to still pick up the last leg of it?
Possibly, but the momentum's gone. I mean, I don't want to do that. I mean,
Okay.
we need to get everybody. So, like, I need to first get me into the U.S. because I got other speaking gigs that I have to, or Mark says I get to go to. So we got to figure that out. But otherwise, yeah, Jeremy's going to do his thing. Ray's going to go back to work and get his placement. I'm not just going to go do this, you know, small thing with Nina for a month on the road. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't feel right.
I don't like that answer.
Oh, I'm fine with that part. I don't care as much about that.
You could still do a week and a half in Texas because you were going to hit 3 cities, and you could still do Florida, and you could still hit DC and New York and Boston, and you could do these legs still. You could have a great time. You could meet people. You could get the book out there. You could do all of these things.
No. That it's gone.
Dude,
it could take 2 months. It could take
getting everything off.
It could take up to 2 months just to get the government thing figured out. Like, I don't know. We don't have time, and that's the problem. If it was next week, guaranteed, awesome. We could figure out another path. I don't know how long it's going to take to figure it out. Okay. So it's fine.
Were you on the phone this morning with your
Yeah, Nina's already on the
lawyers
job.
or whatever it's called? What are those lawyers? What are those lawyers called? Immigration lawyers?
I don't know. Nina's already been making like 4 calls today, so it's happening.
Here's what you do. You set up a U.S.-based company in like Chicago or something. You get yourself a P.O. box with a U.S.-based company and your IRS thing, and then now you own a company in the U.S. and you have a reason to travel down there.
Sure, but I also have to get Nina over, and I got to get Ray, I got to get Jeremy over.
Okay.
Or I'm just showing up, and then it's some small thing in coffee shops or something. But
okay, we'll figure it out. Pittsburgh. Posh wants you to come to Pittsburgh again. Pittsburgh isn't happening, Posh.
Pittsburgh isn't happening. Anyway, so there's still part of it, like that's slowly going away as I've had the conversations with the most important people. But there's still the feeling of disappointment for others. And that was overwhelming last night. That was like 95% of my mindset last night. But now it's switching to just more momentum. Like, that's, as long as the people are fine, let's go. It's like on the way back, I think I told Nina last night, like, can we book a time with Mark tomorrow? Can you message Mark right now?
Yeah, I was already asleep. I was already asleep when she texted me. But
that's fine. But just like the mindset of, fine, this isn't going to happen. Immediate momentum. Like, tomorrow has to be the best day of all time. Immediate momentum.
I love that. But I'm literally moving stuff around, and I said to Jacqueline, I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to move stuff around. And she's like, you're clearing your afternoon with Evan? And I said, listen, he's driving to Whitby.
Right?
I'm like, he goes, Mark, I need to meet with you in person, and I'm going to drive out to the East
Yeah.
End to do so. I was like,
Extreme
this is
measures.
important. I'm like, this is important.
Extreme measures. We're doing the new planning. Yeah. So today has to be a massive momentum day. So everything's getting done. Some things that are just on my list, and some things that are like planning for the next thing.
I love it. I love it. So let's not overlook the lesson in this, right? Because the way that you think, the natural way that you think, and the way that you've wired yourself is really things that we all need to learn. I need to learn. We all need to learn. So yesterday, crushing disappointment. Maybe you don't feel that way, but you feel like you let other people down or whatever. But still, you plan to do this thing. You've planned for months. You've been killing yourself for weeks to make it happen, and then this crushing disappointment.
Yeah.
And so what's the next immediate thing you go? Like, what's next?
Action. It's like, call Mark Drager.
That is always the answer.
Batman, what are we doing?
I'm Batman.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Is it? Especially since I've never even ever seen one of those movies.
Yeah, so really, you should. I don't know how much time we spent. It's ridiculous. I don't know how much money we spent. It's pretty crazy. I don't know how much we're going to get back, where we can, whatever.
I don't know what I'm going to do with a gold Porsche for the next few years.
You're right, this giant car that's too big and the roof box that we don't need. And
yeah, so that's the crazy thing.
I bought a new car just for this.
You got rid of the car you love.
Yeah.
That you love just to get this one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we spent however much it was to get it wrapped and all that stuff by like the #1 guys in the country.
I wrote an Instagram post for you. I mean, I know that it's not for you, but for those who go through what you went through. And it just said, 3 years from now, this big challenge you're facing, you're not even going to remember it. And I was thinking of you, right? This big, scary thing where you're like, oh, I did all of this stuff and it's crazy and now I'm losing it. How do I hold on to it? I know you in 6 months, you're going to be like, oh yeah, did that happen?
Oh, it's already gone, dude.
Oh, right.
Dude,
we got stopped at the border. I forgot about that.
It's already, it's gone. I'm not even thinking about that anymore. Like, it's actually, like, I need to try to summon it more for the people, because it's still disappointing people in terms of, like, the people following me, and I don't want them to feel like, oh, he's already moved on from this, and, like, I wasn't important, and they bought tickets for my thing, and, like,
yeah.
I don't want to come off so callous. It's like, what's next?
What's next?
Yeah. But to bring more value and to build more momentum.
There's no such thing as loss, there's only opportunity. You now have 3 months freed up to do whatever you can do to crush this book launch.
People want to know, Mark, how would you have handled it? I know we're not really taking questions now, but I like that. Would you have been mad, sad, or disappointed like Evan? Teach us. Teach us, Mark.
I would have been
and this is, hold on. Okay, this is from ER equals Erasmo, who was the first person to ask Mark Drager for an autograph.
Of Evan's book.
No, yes. of a book that Mark helped me create in Dallas. Yeah. He drove from San Antonio to Dallas, and he was going to come to my San Antonio event.
He came from Houston.
Oh, Houston? He drove from Houston to Dallas just for this event. He got to meet Mark Drager. He asked Mark Drager for an autograph. It was the first time. Do you have a picture with him? You should.
Yeah, I think so.
You should. It's the first time Mark signed anything.
Yes.
Besides a check or a legal document, whatever. A fan. Mark's fan. And so now he wants to know. I know we'll get the questions later, but we're making a special exception for the Mark superfan.
Perfect.
How would Mark have handled this?
So first, I would have been in complete disbelief and shock. I would have felt like completely shattered. Like, whenever there's been that kind of disappointment in my life, it's just like, it's this feeling of victimhood and like, I can't believe this is happening. But then 2 things happen for me. Either my fight or flight kicks in, and I get to the point where I'm like, screw that. I am going to go so far the other way that I'm going to prove to myself or prove to others, or I'm going to make this happen, because there's no way that I'm going to let this slip away, and I'm going to fight and fight and fight. And so, like I said to Evan, like how can I miss this one day but then be on the next day? How can I still save the back of the tour? What can I do? What can we do? What can we do? Like, fight. Or I would go, oh, I was so scared and worried about this big thing not working out. Now I have 3 months of freedom. I'm going to go crawl into bed and hide and use this 3 months as an excuse to do nothing. That's typically how I react, to try and fight to save it, to make the most of it, or like, yay, I'm free. I was so terrified that this 90-day thing wouldn't work, and the universe saved me from disappointing myself.
Yeah, there you go.
I think that's how most people would react.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is why I say, like, now Jeremy and all of these people have 3 months. They can do anything they want with it. Like, they could backpack through Europe. They could, like, they have this gift they've been given. But I would have, I would probably use this thing that happened out of your control as like feeling like, oh, good. Like, I didn't think I could do it anyway. So thank goodness I don't have to prove to myself and fail.
All right.
Does that answer your question, Evan?
It wasn't my question. It was Erasmo's question.
I know, but you don't like that thinking. You don't like that thinking.
Well, it's okay. That's honest thinking that then you work on stamping out. Yeah. So I was already starting to build a list of things that in the past couple weeks I was starting to build a list of things I'm going to do, ideas I need to think about when I'm back from the tour. Right? Like, what do I do with my Thursday night workshops in Toronto? I don't know. We'll figure it out when I'm back from the tour. All this stuff that it's been insane work just getting ready for the tour. And so now on the drive home yesterday, it's like, okay, well, we're back from the tour, guys.
Hey, you and Nina and Jack and I are going to grab dinner, because last night I was saying to Jack, I was talking about the type of conversations we had, and I was like, we should grab dinner with them soon. And Jack's like, they're gone for 90 days. I was like, oh, in April, we should grab dinner with them, I guess. Okay. Hey, you're back!
We're back. Just talk to Nina. She'll organize it. Nina's right now on Eventbrite, canceling and refunding and doing all the work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the story. That's where we're at. Now today has to be tons of momentum.
You want to hear? I'm going to stop asking if you want to hear something funny or stories. Anyway, yesterday, Jacqueline passed her course. She did this really big course that she was really stressing out about. And I used it again to say, I don't know why you doubted that you could do it, because she spent all this time doubting she could do it, and she was going to fail and all this stuff. And then suddenly, bing, she did it.
85%, like she crushed it.
Yeah, you need 80 to pass. She thought she failed. She got 85%. And suddenly her mindset shifted from like, I'm going to have to redo this thing and I'm a failure and terrible, to something like, oh, I rocked it. Oh, okay. And it's just another time that she proved to herself that she's actually capable of these things, and she shouldn't doubt that she is. And then we were talking about a friend, because Jacqueline's on this high. She's like, buzzing, and I'm super excited and jazzed up or whatever. And so we're just like super positive and happy and talking about all these challenges we're going to overcome. And we're talking about a friend who's just like a downer. And I was like, oh, it's just so pessimistic and downer. And then she goes, yeah, but Mark, like, she just doesn't have Evan in her life.
Wow, your wife, Jacqueline said that?
Jacqueline said that.
That's hilarious.
She's like, you had Evan, and then I have you. She just needs an Evan in her life. I was like, wow, we've come a long way. We've come a long way when Jack pulls that one out. So
we've got a long way. Now it's going to be just because Evan is just a concept.
Because it used to be, why do you keep listening to that guy? You're friends. Why do you have to watch his videos and his voice is on all the time? And why? Anyway, now it's just like, yeah, our mutual our friend needs an Evan in their life. So I was like, Jack should be that Evan. Yeah. Yeah,
Evan is just a concept.
Yeah.
Evan, just believe. Really, what they're saying is you just need a little more belief in your life. That's all it is.
Yeah.
There's no ego or pride in that. It's just, it's true. You need more belief in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
cool.
Thank you.
Thank
you for fixing thank you for helping my wife.
You got to stop hanging around all these negative people, man. Every time we do an episode, it's like negative friends and negative family and downers and just all these negative downing people. Jesus.
I got in my truck this morning after my workout, and the radio happened to come on, and I'm listening to this radio DJ, and I'm just like, this dude is so, like, he uses like pessimism and negativity and being cranky to, I guess, like, get people to listen, like, and I was just like, I can't even, like, how is this guy on the radio? Like I was seriously thinking, like, I should call the station and be like, find someone more positive, because you're literally spreading hate right now. Like,
wow.
It was driving me crazy.
But that's every mainstream media, dude.
I guess so.
Yeah, man. Come on. That's
Yeah.
mainstream media. That's most people. That stuff sells.
It just makes me uncomfortable. I don't like it anymore. Where are you going?
I need to lower the blinds because the sun is like hitting me right in the face when I look at you. There we go.
In
my
face.
eye. In my eye. Yeah, there we go. There.
I
so much
added
better.
I added a light. I added a light to my room for you, so that way it would be a little bit more bright.
All right.
Trying to up the game.
It looks too bright behind you. You still need more on your face.
It looks. That's because. Hold on. There. Is that a little bit more? Is that better? No.
No, it's like it's white. No, that's even worse. There, that's a little better, but it's just hitting the sides of your face. You need something on the face. Yeah, keep going. That's
Is that
better.
better?
And then turn
Just-
off that light behind you.
Wow.
The lights behind you are too bright compared to the one in front of you. That's the problem.
I will get more lighting. I will get
Just-
a better camera.
Okay,
I
just
will
shut
fix
off the
it.
lights. You can do this right now. Shut off the lights behind you.
Should I do that? And just this is
No, the other
No?
way. Shut
The
off
other
the
way?
lights behind you.
okay. This is great for an audio podcast.
Yeah. There you go. Okay, come back and stand in front of the light.
Hold
Hey, look at that orange glow. Look at that. That's good.
This is better. This is better now. How
You look-
how come it won't adjust? It won't adjust the
It
lighting.
looks better. It looks like you have a crazy
that better?
spray. You have a crazy spray tan on right now. You are the spray tanned Drager, but we like it.
Okay. Anyway,
So.
I started tanning. I go to a tanning place now.
Oh really? Okay.
I love it. Oh yeah, it's so good in the wintertime to like get at least 6 minutes of a little bit of warmth and some sunlight. Yeah.
Just get a chili pad and turn it to heat, and you can sleep in it all night.
Evan's bed. Have you talked publicly about this crazy bed invention thing that you have to keep you warm or cold?
I don't know, but I feel like I've lost it. Like Nina's taken it the past 3 to 4 nights, and I don't know that I'm going to get it back.
You said you have it back tonight.
I know, but I feel bad because I feel like you like it more than I like it, and so now I feel guilty for taking it.
You didn't pack it up to take it with you on your tour? Evan has
No.
this. Evan has this this heater / liquid air conditioner thing beside his bed that circulates warm or cold water under his sheets. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a little machine on the floor that then you set the temperature, and you then put this. It takes up half of the bed. Put this mat, and then you put your sheet on top of it, and so you're sleeping on top of the temperature that you want.
Yeah.
So I set it down to 55 degrees.
Which is Fahrenheit, which is insane. That's super cold.
It's the lowest setting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I sleep better. And then when Nina does it, she turns it up to max heat, and then turns it off in the middle of the night because she's like baking. But I woke up thinking. So I was away in Whistler for 2 days, and Nina slept on my side, but turned it to hot. And then last night, said, okay, you've been enjoying it. You sleep on it. I'll sleep on your side. But then I woke up feeling like she should maybe keep it.
Here's what I think you should do.
Another one.
That's the answer, Dina.
Get another
Just
one?
get another one. You can
Yeah.
both have your own. You're not spending all of this money on the tour. You've
Yeah.
saved all of this stuff. You can apply it to giving your wife the gift of her own chili pad.
Go spend another $700 to get another little.
It's nothing. Whatever.
Yeah.
To make your wife happy, you would do more than that.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see. Cool. Well, I am looking forward to seeing what comes out of this amazing opportunity you have in the next 3 months.
Well, we're going to talk about it later today.
I know you and I are. I'm just saying, big picture, I'm excited. As the host of this podcast, I'm excited to see what's going to come out of the next few months. I know you're driving to Whitby, Ontario, so that way in
That's
2
a
hours.
tour. That's an adventure in itself.
Perfect. Do you want to do some questions from our audience?
Yeah, whatever, man. I'm good.
Oh, you want me to look at the questions? Okay, leave your
Oh.
questions at the bottom. I'm so used to on the other days you doing it that I was like, okay, pick a question.
Mark's the host, so there's something to prove podcast. Oh, listen, I also got upset that you weren't doing more speaking and interviews,
yesterday.
and it's been in the back of my head
Yeah.
that Mark needs to be doing more.
I did my
stuff.
first
Yeah.
IG
morning.
live interview this morning with someone.
Okay.
I had so much fun. It was amazing. and we still can't figure out how to download it. Yesterday, I went and got someone with an Android phone and said, tomorrow I'm doing this live. Figure out how to download it for me. We're still trying to figure out. I don't want this
I sent
to
you the
disappear.
name. Okay, if you don't, then today I'll get it because it's going to disappear. I'll download it if you can't figure it out because we need to. By tomorrow, it's too late.
I'm going to have to go buy an Android phone just so I have the ability to download these things.
But then I don't have to download our podcast anymore. This is great.
We'll see.
I can download this.
We'll see. We'll see.
Put it in Dropbox and send it to Mark so you can edit it. Anyway, so somebody emailed me this morning, and I haven't been in touch with them since 2018. And I was on their show or whatever. They said, "Hey, is there anybody who you could introduce me to for your show?" I'm like, "Mark Drager. You should talk to Mark Drager." And I linked your website.
Thank you.
To markdrager.com.
Thank you.
Oh, Mark left. Mark just left. That's the best. I don't know what happened to Mark. We're just talking about how we're going to give Mark more love, and then he takes off. Mark left.
I didn't leave. You kicked me out.
How did I kick you out? I'm standing here. Here are my two hands, Mark. I didn't kick you out.
I went, hey, and then you kicked me out.
I did not kick you out. Your internet crashed or something, but it's not me. That's 100.
Well,
anyway. Yes. Okay.
Hey.
You need to be doing more speaking. You got to be talking to more people.
Yes.
And I'm excited to. It's just a decision. Like I sent you this really short message back, like 2 lines, but.
Yeah. It's intention. That was your answer.
It's the intent, yeah, because in my head, it's like there's so many hows. Like you can use my platform. You could say, I want to do an interview that's going to be on this YouTube channel or whatever, right? Like if there's somebody you really want to get a hold of, it's possible. It's just a decision that.
To me, so for me, there's doing, and then there's like strategy, but in the middle is like these editorial decisions, like what's right and what's wrong and all of these things. And so, we're figuring out how to always get better at our YouTube videos and our IG videos and the topics and how I deliver and how they're cut. We're fixing the brand, but introducing a new type of content or having me go out and develop the topics that I want to speak about and then going out and doing that is like a new line of business. And on top of everything else I have to do, it just always hits third in terms of importance. And so Fanta and client work and building the team is like 1, MD content is 2, speaking becomes 3. What's wrong?
You just like your voice when you said 1, you yelled and it went like crazy high squeak.
I didn't
like,
yell.
It went.
1.
I don't know if you guys heard that too. Did you guys hear it? Let me know in the comments.
Dude, your phone is messing up.
No. Hold on. When Mark, guys, when Mark said 1, did it just like crackle? Did it crackle? Did you hear it? Did you have to?
1.
No, now it's fine. No. When you said 1, it was legit. I need you to listen back to the audio, and we'll see what happens. People.
No.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
That's what Brian G. Designer said. No.
Oh,
Posh
Elevated
says
Rose said no.
It's
all right.
just you.
It's just me. All right. Well, his voice was fine. All right, Mark. This made Mark's week.
Yes. Yeah. Do you guys know how I never have the chance to prove Evan wrong. He's always right.
Not always. Here he is. No. Look at all the no's coming in.
Yeah. What were we talking about before I got kicked off?
How you need to get bigger interviews. But it might be so. Yes, and this is everybody's problem in that you want to do something new, and you've got tons of current responsibilities. It's evaluating the current responsibilities and dropping some.
Oh, yeah.
Doing
it's
other
what
things.
I emailed you yesterday, which is your line. You have to map I have to map my actions to my ambitions. Right? So I have not made the effort to say, every Friday afternoon for 2 hours a week, I'm going to focus on this. And even that would start to get me progress or whatever it is. I just haven't, I just haven't done it. That's it.
All right.
But at the same time, I'm really proud because I sought out an opportunity to interview someone last week. We booked it and we did it this morning. And it was like, it was the first time I was doing that, not interviewing someone, but in this channel. And I'm happy. Now, in 2 hours, we can figure out how you can download it for me and Dropbox it to me. And then I had to go out and buy an Android device or something just so that way I can do this. Yeah.
All right. Questions. Listener questions.
Yeah.
What do you got? Mark?
Someone said Evan was going to talk about how an amazing of a speaker I would be. You want to go on about how awesome of a speaker I'll be?
Was that actually the question that comes up as we're saying questions?
Yeah.
Or are you saving this? That's legit
language
the question?
Language coach TC, the comment that was there was, Evan was about to say how amazing Mark would be at speaking.
Wow, we just lined that up beautifully then here for Mark. Mark would make a great speaker. Mark would make a great speaker.
The last time that Evan saw me speak, he looked up from his phone once, and that is high praise.
Did I?
Yeah, at your thought leadership event. I spoke for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And you looked up once and was like, "Oh, this is a good part," and then you went back down to your phone again.
Yeah, you to speak, you could do. You're already decent enough to go and do like a canned speech. It's more in the interactivity where I think you would actually crush, but that's where you need to get more practice with. Less canned, more interaction, more helping people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where I think you would actually crush it.
Here's a question for you, Evan, from Elevate Dros. They keep asking, why not just do like an online tour? Why not just do a webinar tour? Why not just keep doing the impact you want to do, but do it digitally or online?
I think it's Elevated Rose, not Elevate Dros.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm pretty sure. She's been in before.
Elevate did Rose makes more sense than Elevate Dros. Okay, guys,
maybe
when you're branding and naming yourself, this is something to keep in mind. People read things differently.
I wonder how many people read it as Elevate Dros versus Elevated Rose. Anyway, maybe. I mean, I have my. So anybody who pre-ordered the book, I have my Facebook group, and we go live every week in the Facebook group, and I'm helping people there. I'm open. It has to feel big enough. So when I'm talking to Mark later today, maybe we'll come up with that idea of doing an online tour. I don't know. I'm open. We have to definitely plan the launch day, which is March 17. But then all the lead up to it, how do I market and promote it? Everything has to change because I'm not doing my usual tour. So right now, everything's on the table. So appreciate any feedback and suggestions to make it happen.
You know that did Nina tell you that I have a call from 3:30 to 4? So if we
hold on. A quick pause because Brian G, designer, saying you got my name wrong too, Mark.
Yeah, because I didn't know if it was Brian G Designer or Brianing Designer.
Come on, Brianing Designer. Come on, dude.
Brian G Designer.
Come on, Brian G Designer. That's got to be it. Mark's here, like making people feel bad. Brand yourself properly, but I feel like there's just a little bit of Mark that there's some dyslexia in there or something.
Actually, yeah. Yeah, do you know, so when I used to do sales and have to I didn't pound the phones, but I don't ever call anyone anymore. It doesn't really happen. But I used to usually have to dial 2 or 3 times because I would flip numbers around and then end up calling the wrong people. So there might be a little dyslexia in there, undiagnosed.
Yeah. We just diagnosed it. That's
maybe that explains why I was illiterate until grade 5 and I suck at spelling and all that other stuff. But
somebody's saying at least he got mine correct. So there you go. Mark,
there
own
you
it.
Go.
Elevated Rose is saying Mark, own it.
Evan, it's Elevate Dros.
Great. Well, that's what's going to happen to you now. You're going to get renamed by Mark. Elevate Dros.
Anyway, so I just wanted to say though that we're getting together at 2. Fantastic. We can get together for the whole afternoon. Just from 3:30 to 4, I have a call that I have to take. So if you want to bring your laptop and work or whatever. Anyway, that was it. Nina was concerned that you didn't know that I had a 30-minute call.
All right. We'll figure it out.
Cool. Oh, okay. Some people are now wanting me to do their name. So so hold on.
Hold on. I need to see it too.
So
who's saying
one Sanjay, one Sanj, one Sanj, one Sanj, one Sanj, one Sanjay. One Sanjay. That's what I would go with. But now how do we know unless you tell us phonetically how to say it? How would you say one Sanj?
One, I can't, let me see it.
One Sanjay? One Sanjay?
Where is it? Oh, the number 1 and then I would go one Sanjay.
One Sanjay. Wow.
Yeah, I would go one Sanjay.
Ah, I got it right. Oh, it's
Sanjay. Yeah, there you go. See?
Sanjay.
It's Sanjay.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love it.
Repeat after me. Elevated Rose.
Rose. Elevated. Here we go. Ready? Elevated Rose. Is that better? Good.
I think it's pretty easy for people to see that and say Elevated Rose. I feel like maybe 0.5% of the population would say Elevate Droz.
Oh, okay. Let us know if you have any questions. We've got 15 minutes left in this podcast episode. This is the Something to Prove podcast. Let us know if you have questions, and we'll go ahead and throw them to Evan. Everyone's just laughing about the name thing now.
Wait, did we actually answer Elevated Rose's question, or were we just...
Yeah, online tour.
Oh, we did, okay.
Why not just do an online tour? You got to feels enough. It's got to be big enough. It's got to be grand enough.
Okay.
Evan already has online in the bag. The reason for the tour was he needs to be in more places, meeting more people, and doing things that scare him. That is the language. Yeah, someone who does language coaching suggests that maybe we need our own language coach.
Wait, we or you?
Sounds like you guys need a
Wow.
language coach.
Okay, don't lump me in with Drager on the language coaching.
Yeah. Okay, one Sanjay wants to know, Toronto book tour?
It's not really a tour if it's one stop, but I'm going to be doing more in Toronto. Just not sure what yet. I'm going to talk to Mark this afternoon about
What
it.
about, big picture thinking, a European book tour? Maybe the EU will let you in.
Yeah, right? We joked about it.
There's tons of cities in Europe that you haven't visited. You have 3 months free. Let's go.
The amount of people from Europe who reached out to me on Instagram DM and Twitter DM saying like, hey, come to Switzerland. Hey, come to Holland. Hey, come to the UK.
Yeah.
It's been super heartwarming.
Yeah. If America
maybe.
doesn't want you, then
Let's
your
go.
European brothers and sisters
Let's go,
certainly do.
Poland. Let's go, Serbia. Let's go, Italy. Let's go, Germany, and make it happen,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm feeling like, I honestly feel like I kind of just finished the tour.
No, not what you feel like. What do you think, Evan? What do
I
you
feel
think?
like we just did the tour and it was great. Now I need something else.
It was a total disaster. It didn't even start.
Yeah, but it feels like it's already done, and now we need to move on to the next thing. So I don't know that I'll ever do a tour again. Like I might.
No, don't say that.
Well, I said that after the last one too, and then we started planning for the next tour.
I want to go on tour with you, Evan. 2032, the Evan and Mark tour.
Wow, 2032. Like I said I was never going to write a book again, and I wrote another book. But that at the end of it, I don't want to just keep doing the same thing. I like doing something new. So what's the next new? It might be another tour at some point. I don't know. But right now,
I love all the Americans who are apologizing on behalf of their country.
Oh yeah. It's like you got. I mean, the love has been amazing. I appreciate all of you. I haven't responded yet to all of the comments and everything that's come back, but it's a mix between like sadness, but also like rage, like our effing border guys and Trump 2020 and border. You know, it's like okay, just breathe, guys, breathe. It's good. Thank you.
Okay, Evan's
Feeling the
already
love.
over it, y'all.
Mark, would you do a live with me?
Yeah, I saw
Says
that.
Elevated Rose.
Elevate Droz, yes, I will.
Wow,
sure.
you better get the name right if you're going to do a
Elevated
live.
Droz. It would be my honor to. Just DM me. We'll set something up. I would love to. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Really, I joke because I'm uncomfortable with it, but yes, I would love to. Thank you. Yeah.
And you should do one with the language coach.
Yeah. No. She just withdrew the offer.
The language coach does not want to do.
No. Elevated Rose said no, so I don't know what she's saying no to, but maybe she's withdrawing the offer now because I made that.
No. That's not her style. That's not Elevated Rose's style.
That's great. Your goal should be to produce YouTube content from your tour. So, I mean, you were going to do the live. You were going to do the live. So you still have the ability to do live, right? You can still do these. Let's follow Evan 12 hours per day. You can still grab bits and pieces from it and still do it, or it's just so you're like done. Next, what's next?
Probably not. I'm open again to discussing, but probably not because the idea. I wanted to have a 12-hour live stream every day, and I wanted to use the tour to prove the model. So
Right.
I had Ray with me, and there's something exciting happening every day because you're in different cities and meeting people. It's like it's more interesting than just there'd be some days where I'm just sitting here in the office or standing here working all day, right? I wanted to prove the case, prove the model, and then come back to Toronto in 3 months and see do we continue doing it or not with a 12-hour live stream every day. If I'm looking at the opportunities in front of me, I just feel like there's higher leverage things right now to work on.
I'm so excited for you, man. I was meeting. I got together with Max Callis, a mutual friend.
Yeah,
He reached out to me.
He introduced us.
He did. He introduced us in 2007.
Okay.
And because
Shout out to Max.
when I started my company, I sublet an office, one room off of his company, and then he knew Evan, and then we connected.
OrangeMarketing.com?
It was WSI back then, but
No, but what is he doing now? Orange. I wanted to say Orange Theory, but it's not Orange Theory.
leads something because
okay.
him and he's doing his own thing, his own consulting. Anyway, we got together. Haven't seen him in like 2 or 3 years. We spoke for about an hour and a half. Gosh, now you just made me forget why.
Okay, come on,
I started talking.
go, Mark, go. You're fine. Go.
Oh, yeah. So we were
is,
talking about his business and all these things he can do. And as an entrepreneur, you hit this point where you go, I would love to start again. I would love to start again because I would totally do it this way and that way, and I would just, all of these things that I was working towards are shackles, and I would just throw it all away and start again. I feel like you now you're like, old tour's out. I was going to do that. It's not happening. I'm not doing it. And now the exciting part is you can do anything.
Yeah.
You can do anything.
It's not even that
I'm so excited for you.
It's not even that it's not happening. It's that it's done. We did it.
I don't believe you on that, but okay.
That's like we just did this great thing.
Did you do it to the best of your abilities?
Yeah.
Are you proud of the effort?
Yes.
So you won. Don't focus on the results. That's
What?
the Evan way of thinking.
Okay.
The Evan way of thinking is I put all of this time and effort and work and got all of this stuff arranged to do this tour.
Yeah.
I showed up to do the tour.
Yeah.
I did everything I can, and I'm super proud of how I performed.
Yeah.
Tour didn't happen, but that's the results. Whether the tour happens or not happens is results. Evan's not tied to results.
Yeah.
Evan is tied to how proud he is that he showed
Yeah.
up.
Yep. Yeah.
I love it so much. It's so ridiculous.
Okay. That's not ridiculous. That's healthy.
No, I love it. I love it. It's ridiculous.
Okay. What else?
Yeah. Oh, what else? You don't want to go on that?
Oh, I don't know. Sure. You're the host. I just show up. I'm the something to prove donkey.
The something to prove donkey. Okay. Today is Fun Friday. This is Language Coach. TC.
Wait, are you going to do your live language coaching training with Language Coach?
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll connect after this, and then she will help me articulate and speak better.
I think we should find like 10 different words that we feel will trip Mark up.
Gosh.
And then he's got to read them live and then be corrected.
Can I tell you that I decided that I wanted to read my older kids my favorite fantasy book that I read growing up, which is the Bellegarde series by David Eddings. I've read it and reread it and reread it and reread it. Like since grade 8, I've probably reread it 15 times. And I was like, I'm going to read this to my kids. I want to share this with them. They're a little too young to read it themselves. I've never said any of these character names out loud before.
Oh, great.
And do you know how hard it is in a fantasy book to try and like get these names out and then say them consistently the same way? I do need language help. Anyway.
She's wrote great idea. Okay, so live, on the Instagram live, you got to pick 10 words that you think will trip Mark up, and then he's got to read them, and you give the answer. We might even need to have like a little Mark like voodoo doll or something. But then when he gets it wrong, we can like slap with a ruler or something. Like, no,
yeah,
Mark, wrong.
Not a fan of that. But here's a fun Friday question. What are both of your guys' hidden talents?
Hidden talents?
Yeah. Give me a hidden talent, Evan.
Nina, what's a hidden talent of mine?
Piano.
Piano?
Yeah.
Yeah, people don't know how to play the
You
piano.
haven't actually talked about piano in a long time.
Yeah, I can play the piano. I mean,
You don't have a keyboard in your condo anymore.
I do. No, we have a keyboard.
Oh.
What I'm best at with that is I can listen to a song and then play it. Mm-hmm. Like give me 10 minutes. If I can like there was this song that my niece was playing. That's this slow Chinese song. And then I said, that's an amazing song, but it should be turned into like this fast-paced, like march into war song. And so she played it a couple times, and then I just sat down and within like 7 to 10 minutes just started playing it.
So I'm self-taught in piano. I only took 1 year of piano to do grade 1.
Okay.
And then I decided in high school that I wanted to learn piano. And so I taught myself the scales. And then from the scales, you can learn the chords. And then from the chords, you can learn the minors and the sevens. And then once you know the chords of a song, the melody is always within the chord. But it's so much work to sit down and try and teach yourself, like to break down all those steps to learn a song and then to try and memorize it, because I can't really read sheet music without like saying like face or like all cows eat grass or whatever. Anyway, I wish I could play piano better.
Well, what's your hidden talent, Mark?
What's my hidden talent? I didn't even think of the question. My hidden talent. What is my hidden talent? I don't know. What comes to mind? I feel like I'm really good at building things. It's not really hidden though. I talk about it a lot.
Changing lights.
Renovation.
He what?
He could do renovation at home.
Renovation. That's what he's
Yeah,
saying.
I guess that's a hidden talent. So like, pretty much if there's anything related to construction, I feel like I can do it with full confidence. Like if our basement started leaking, I would waterproof my basement. I wouldn't hire someone. I'd get the excavator. I would dig the hole. I would learn how to waterproof it. Like if I needed to re-roof my house, I would just re-roof my house. Like I do not have any fear when it comes.
Say it again.
If I had to re-roof my house,
Re-roof?
it,
Roof?
re-roof it, roof. It's called a roof.
Roof.
It's a roof.
Roof. What?
It's a roof.
Okay, I'm not a dog, Nina. Roof is like the thing above
I know, but
roof. But Mark said it kind of weird. Okay.
It's a roof. If I had to re-roof my house,
But when you say re-roof, it sounds weird.
if I had to re-roof,
Yeah, why is it weird?
No, the way he pronounces it.
if I had to
sounds weird.
re-roof my house, because I say roof,
Okay,
roof,
we gotta-
roof, not roof.
We
Anyway.
gotta tell. Okay, we gotta add that to the list of the language coaching. So one of the words have to have like roof somewhere in the middle of it.
You do know that I had to do like 2 years of speech therapy just to be able to speak, right? I had such
Really?
I had such a bad lisp as a child. I couldn't say the word R until grade 4 or 5. I couldn't say R. I said ah. So I said mock.
Wow.
I said mock, and it would be Carmichael. Like
Nice. You're
My
so
sister-
Boston.
my sister's name was Cheryl, and I would say Cheryl, like Cheryl and mock, and I talked like this all the time.
Mock.
And
That's
and
so Boston.
I had to sit there, and I remember the speech therapist going, race car, and I had to just like try and learn how to say the letter R. It killed me.
What wasn't I when I was doing my audiobook? What couldn't I say? There's one thousandths time. We had to change my audiobook because I couldn't say thousandths time.
As opposed to thousands? Because it was
Not
thousands.
thousands.
It was 1,000th of a second kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. One
But it's the-
100th of a second? So
It's the
that kind of-
thousandth time for the thousandth time. I still can't say it.
No, but you don't say that. You say it's for the thousandth time. It's only if it's a decimal place is it a thousandths. And it would be
I don't know.
1/1000th of something, or 10 1,000ths.
Anyway, whatever.
It's a
It was
measurement.
grammatically correct, but I couldn't pronounce it. So we had to change the audiobook. Audiobook
Oh,
listeners, you get a
language
bonus.
coach TC says, "Oh, so this is real for you, Mark. We can't laugh at you anymore." No, don't
Of
worry.
course
You
we-
can still laugh at me.
You can still
Come
laugh
on.
at me.
I'm a
He
grown
still
up
likes
now.
it. He's fine. Yeah,
I'm a
he's
grown
fine.
up. It's okay that I speak like an American and I say Toronto rather than Toronto.
That is not okay.
Or my wife makes fun of me because I say pillow, and she's like, "It's a pillow."
What?
And I was
No, it's not
like-
a pillow.
Oh, then I say pillow, and she's like, "It's a pillow."
Oh, yeah, pillow. Okay.
I say
'Cause
pillow.
I was about to say that Jacqueline needs to join the speech therapy.
I say turkey because
Turkey?
I can say the word turkey, but when I'm not thinking about it, I say turkey because that's what I used to say when I was a kid.
If you want to know 5 pieces of life-changing advice from monks and gurus, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.